Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another installment of The Now Review. And boy have we got a special one for you. This was quite a surprise when this was announced, but you know what, I'm absolutely glad that this is here. I think this was a long time coming, for I have for you today the 4 CD and 3 LP vinyl edition of Now Dance, the 80s. So anyone who's a Now fan will know that the genre of dance has been a long-standing theme within Now. The very first Now Dance came all the way back out in 1985, and I've actually done a review on all of the dance releases, so you can go and check that out elsewhere on the channel. But dance has been such a core component of the Now series, definitely in terms of the spin-offs. Now, the early ones, as it says, there were 3 releases in the 80s, one in 1985, one in 1986, and then one in 1989. And now I believe 89 got a CD release at the time, but I think the first 2 didn't really get a CD release, or if they did, they're not necessarily easy to come by. So this release is compiling as many tracks as possible from those 3 original LPs and putting them onto here. So we're going to take a look at the track list in just a second, but let's look at this cover. You might be able to tell that what they're clearly trying to evoke here is Now Dance 86 with the predominantly red background. You've got those little silhouetted characters there with all the 80s squiggles, and obviously the title. Behind that yellow triangle, we've got the Now logo as it mainly was back then, the 3 colours, the red, blue and the green. You've got the dance in the little squares there. It feels very 80s, as it should, as it absolutely should. So really happy that we're getting this, and especially using this sort of cover. You can see on the front it gives you a tease of the artists as well, people like Philip Bailey and Phil Collins, Eurythmics, Ashford and Simpson, Nina Cherry, the Communards with Sarah Jane Morris, and loads more as well. So are we ready? Let's take a look then. We'll start with the CD as we always do, so let's flip it on round and take a look at that all-important track list. So, CD1 here starts off covering the first release, the original Now Dance that came out in 1985. So we have Philip Bailey and Phil Collins with Easy Lover, the extended dance remix. The Power Station with Some Like It Hot, the 12-inch mix as well. Eurythmics with Would I Lie to You, the ET mix. Stephen Tintin Duffy with Kiss Me. Belusson with Imagination, is that how you say that? Eddie and the Soul Band and Mahogany with the theme from Shaft. You have Lilo, or Lilo, however you want to say it. Lilo Thomas with Settle Down, the extended remix. T.C. Curtis with Shoulda Known Better, the 12-inch version. Cool Notes with Spend the Night, the original 12-inch mix. Loose Ends with Hanging on a String, the extended dance mix. Jermaine Jackson with Do What You Do, a lovely ballad there, the 12-inch remix version. And Phyllis Nelson closes off CD1 with Move Closer, the 12-inch. That's 12 tracks, and yes, these are all the 12-inch extended mixes, or just 12-inch mixes in general, so a lot longer, perfectly suited for the dance floor. CD2 then, it finishes off 85 as best it can, so we have Ashford and Simpson with Solid, the special club mix, and we have DeBarge with Rhythm of the Night, which is the dance mix there. Then we get on to the tracks from Now Dance 86, so we have 5 Star with Can't Wait Another Minute, that's the 12-inch version there. Gwen Guthrie with Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent, a fantastic club and dance tune, really glad that's here. Aretha Franklin with Who's Zooming Who, the dance mix. Jackie Graham with Breaking Away, the extended version. Grace Jones with Pull Up to the Bumper, the remix. Joyce Sims with You Are My All in All. Midnight Star with Midas Touch, the 12-inch extended remix. Cashflow with Mine All Mine, the club mix. Timex Social Club with Rumours, the 12-inch version. And we finish off with Boris Gardner with I Want to Wake Up With You, again the extended version. Another 12 tracks there, 24 so far. Let's kick it on over to CD3, which again, we have a lot of the tracks from 86 to kick things off. So we have the Communards with Sarah J. Morris and Don't Leave Me This Way, the 12-inch extended version. Jermaine Stewart with We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, extended. Bronski Beat with Hit That Perfect Beat, the 12-inch version. Sunita with So Macho, the extended club mix. I've never liked So Macho, I've got to be honest. Much prefer Toy Boy. MC Micah G and DJ Sven with Holiday Rap, the maxi version. Tavares with Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel, Irresistible Angel mix. Phil Theron and Galaxy with I Can Prove It. Paul Hardcastle finishes off the 86 bunch with Don't Waste My Time, the new extended version. Then we move on to the tracks from 1989's release, which kicking off with Fine Young Cannibals and one of their biggest hits, She Drives Me Crazy. This is the David Z 12-inch remix. We have Double Trouble feat Rebel MC with Just Keep Rockin', the Scouse mix, I think that's meant to be saying, or SK House. I'd say Scouse. Tone Lock with Funky Cold Medina, the 12-inch vocal, and Maze and Frankie Beverly with Joy and Pain. So again, another 12 tracks there, so 36 in total. Moving on to the final disc, CD4. we are once again finishing off the 89 release. So we have Nina Cherry with Buffalo Stance, the 12-inch mix. We've got Bobby Brown with My Prerogative, the extended remix. Inner City with Ain't Nobody Better, the Groove Corporation remix. Cookie Crew with Got to Keep On, the 12-inch version. The Beatmasters with Who's in the House, which is apparently the hip house anthem. D-Mob for LRS and DC Cerrone with It's Time to Get Funky, the 12-inch version. Paula Abdul with Straight Up, the 12-inch remix. Kim Mazel with Got to Get You Back, the groovy piano mix. Yaz is here with Where Has All the Love Gone, the 12-inch version. Cold Cut and Lisa Stanisfield with People Hold On, great track, but this is the full-length disco mix. We've got Adiva and Paul Simpson with Musical Freedom, Free at Last, the extended version. And we finish off with Soul to Soul and Karen Wheeler and Keep On Moving, the club mix. So another 12 tracks there, which means on the 4CD release, you have 48 tracks that are all in their 12-inch form, so usually a lot longer, a lot funkier, a lot more layers to it. Fantastic stuff. We'll talk more about the track list in just a second for this one, but let's open this up. Let's take a look at what the discs look like. Obviously, you have your adverts as well, some, various other Now products, which makes sense. And the discs, so what have we got on CD1? So they've all sort of got the silhouette in the background there, and they've got the logo at the top, which does look really nice, printed in white. Again, very 80s with like that whole triangle and circular design. So they all have different silhouettes too. So CD1 is in a red, CD2 is blue, CD3 is green, and CD4 is yellow. That very primary colour sort of design. Again, it works. It works for an 80s themed album, if you ask me. It looks really, really nice. So yeah, really big fan of the disc designs, the sort of block colours. Again, the logo looks great, printed in white there. The different silhouettes is a nice little bonus touch as well. So when it comes to the track list here, I think having all the 12-inch versions is great. They could have easily called this Now Dance the 80s, but then just included like the radio edits and added extra songs. I like how they've tried to stay as close as they can to the original track list for all this. But for those who are like sort of completionists, you might notice that not every single track that was on those original albums has been able to make its way over here, unfortunately. So Now Dance 85, I believe, is represented by, if I do a quick count, is represented by 14 tracks. So there's 6 tracks missing from that original release. Now Dance 86 has a really good representation, if you ask me, on this album. Now Dance 86 is almost there. I mean, it has 18 of its 20 tracks represented, so only 2. And I think one of the 2 that doesn't make it here is Chain Reaction by Diana Ross, which I know a lot of people were surprised with, and the other one being Love Can't Turn Around, which is such a shame because that's such a fantastic song, really great song, but for whatever reason, those 2 aren't here, so that is a shame. But 18 out of 20, that's not too shabby at all, which means then Now Dance 89 has 16 of its tracks present here, which, again, that's way over, that's over 3/4. That's a good healthy representation there. So yeah, completionists might be upset that not all 20 tracks from those original 3 releases have been able to make its way over to this reissue for 2023, but I think on the whole we got to count ourselves lucky. I think the track list from those original 3 albums is great. It not only goes for some of the biggest dance hits of those years that are still played today, but it also goes for songs that maybe have been lost to the test of time a little bit, and through albums like this, it's going to give them a brand new life. And the fact they've stuck so closely to the original track list, mad props, big respect for that. And with the CD as well, so where can you get this from? You can get it from a litany of places, really. You can get it from HMV, of course, Amazon, your local supermarket, if they still stock CDs. It's a 4-disc album, so it's retailing for $9.99 or a cool £10 if you want to round it up. So definitely worth the value for money, if you ask me. But now we're going to move away from the CD, and we're going to take a look at the very special 3LP vinyl edition. Now, when it comes to dance music in general and 12-inch mixes and all that, vinyl is often the preferred format, for whether it's you're an enthusiast or you like dance music, vinyl is often seen as the preferred way of playing these sorts of hits. So we're going to delve into what this one has to offer. As you can see, the cover embraces that logo. The logo is front and center, which I love. It just emphasizes the whole 80s-ness of it, if that's even a word. I just love it. I love that front cover. The silhouettes are at the top there again. Very 80s, very cool with the white silhouettes and all the little squiggles. And then you've got some artists at the bottom as well, similar to how the original CD has it. But what does this have? Because as we know, when they do vinyl editions, they don't always have every single track list. The CD version had 48 tracks. Let's see how many made their way over to vinyl. So on LP1, side A, we've got Easy Lover by Philip Bailey and Phil Collins. We've got Some Like It Hot by The Power Station. Would I Lie to You by Eurythmics. Kiss Me by Stephen Tintin Duffy. And Imagination by Belusum. Again, probably saying that wrong. So 5 tracks there on side A, and they are all from the original Now Dance. Side B then has Solid by Ashford and Simpson, Spend the Night by Cool Notes, Hanging on a String by Loose Ends, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off by Jermaine Stewart, and Breaking Away by Jackie Graham. So another 5 tracks, 3 of them from the original Now Dance, so 8. That's right, 8 of the 14 tracks from the original Now Dance that were on the CD made their way over here. Now we're into Now Dance 86. So let's kick it on over to LP2. LP2 side A, we've got Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent, great choice there. Who's Zooming Who, Pull Up to the Bumper, and You Are My All in All. So 4 tracks there, all of them are from Now Dance 86. And then side B here, we've got Don't Leave Me This Way by the Communards, Hit That Perfect Beat by Bronski Beat, Can't Wait Another Minute by 5 Star, and Joy and Pain by Maze and Frankie Beverly. So another 4 tracks there, once more, all from Now Dance 86 on there. Okay, so LP2 side B has 3 tracks from 86, and then kicking off with 89 there. So that means then that there's 9 tracks from Now Dance 86 that have made their way over. LP3 side A then, we've got My Prerogative by Bobby Brown, Buffalo Stance by Nina Cherry, Who's in the House by the Beatmasters, People Hold On by Cold Cut and Lisa Stanisfield, She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals, Straight Up by Paula Abdul, Ain't Nobody Better by Inner City, and Keep On Moving by Soul to Soul. So that's 4 tracks there, so 8 tracks. Okay, so LP2 side B has 3 tracks from 86, and then kicking off with 89 there. So that means then that there's 9 tracks from Now Dance 86 that have made their way over, which means we also have 9 tracks from Now Dance 89 that have made their way over. So that's all well and good there. So that, folks, is your track list. So out of the 48 tracks that were on the CD version, bear in mind, on the vinyl, these are all still the 12-inch mixes. They haven't put them down to the radio edit or anything like that. Out of the 48 tracks, 26 have made their way over to vinyl, so just over half. I think this could have been expected, you know. I didn't think they were going to move every single track over there. I mean, if you did, you'd probably have to include another, well, at least one more disc, but there you are. So take that track list for what you will. Let me just get one of the discs out. Let me show you what is inside. Now, most of the time when they do vinyl releases nowadays, they are colored discs, and this is no exception. You can see that it is a lovely, lovely red hue, similar red hue to match the cover art as well, which I think is a lovely touch. I think some people would have wanted one disc to be red, one blue, one green, sort of to match the Now logo. I could see a lot of people going for that, but alas, this is what we've got. I don't think it's too much of a misstep. I think going all red to match with the cover looks really lovely. So that is your vinyl disc. Now, in terms of where you can get this from, I've noticed they've upped the price, not by a load, but by a tiny bit. I mean, normally, in the past, they've been $29.99 for these LPs. This one, on the Now website at least, retails for £30.99, so they've put it up by £1. And, you know, there's a cost of living situation going on. All the production materials and whatnot will be going up. So I guess this was inevitable. But I guess just look where you shop, you know, but just check the prices out. It'll range between £30 and £35. Only you'll know if it's right for you. I absolutely think it is, because, again, vinyl in my eyes is the preferred way of playing 12-inch songs, especially 12-inch songs that are themed around dance. It sounds really good on a turntable. It just feels right for the genre, for the format. So I'm absolutely going to hang on to this. But again, if you want to hang on to it, I would go get it quick. Because whilst it doesn't necessarily say, at least I can't see it on the Now website, it doesn't say how many copies of these they are making, but if we've learned anything from the past few years, when Now do special vinyl releases, they are often always limited edition in some capacity, whether that's a run of, I don't know, 3,000, 5,000. They're going to be limited, and once they're gone, they'll be gone. So if you're a big fan of dance music and you want to get this on vinyl, I'd absolutely grab it. So yeah, in summary, I'm really glad that the Now Dance brand is back, especially sort of going back over the original releases. It'd be really cool if they did this for the 90s as well, although in the 90s there were way more than 3 releases for the dance series back then, so they probably have to do it in parts, like Now Dance the 90s Part 1, etc. But I'd love for this to continue because, you know, a lot of those dance releases, you can only, I mean, as you get into the 90s, they are on CD, but, you know, with all, like, the remastering technology we have now, all that sort of stuff, to have them in, like, more of a complete package would be so cool and so great. And if this one's anything to go by, this is absolutely a great start. The throwback to the 80s, like the vibe, the fact they've got most of the track lists over. Again, we're only missing 12 tracks total from those first 3 albums. So again, you know, we're over, what's that? Yeah, we're over 3/4 of the way there. So I'd herald this as a success. But that's all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like on this video. It really does help us out. And do subscribe to the channel as well. We would love to have you aboard here with us. And let me know in those comments. Comment down below. Are you going to get Now Dance the 80s? Are you going to get it on CD? Are you going to get it on vinyl? Are you going to get both? Are you going to get none? Let me know in those comments down below. I've been Adam Martin from AMTV Now. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.